I will just try to go to some specific points as a European here. Of course, as you maybe know, Europe is in 3 months from now in a very important change. It's a European election for the European Parliament in 28 countries at the same day. So it means, of course, we will look in each of the 28 countries how many women will be elected. And we hope it will be a good opportunity to have a lot of women in the new European Parliament. In the same time, immediately after the election, we will change the European Commission, and of course, we will change Mrs. Ashton, in charge of the external relations of the European Union, and we know maybe a new president of the European Council. So it means a change. But as you maybe noticed from international information, most of the European attitude are not devoted to connection. Of course we are connected. As the President has said, all of us here, we are connected, and in Europe, most of the women are connected. But what is important, politically speaking, is that it's not connection that interests Europeans now. They are facing more and more their own identity, and they want more and more to be linked to their identity. I am a French, I am a Breton, I am a German, or I am a Danish, but not as a European. So this feeling of connection, in fact, in Europe, in political move, in political trends, is going to more and more interest for nationalistic and even regionalistic movement. And we are not sure that this will be positive for the election in May. It is possible that Europe will be driven more and more to nationalistic feelings, which means unable to build a real European future. And this is a real mistake, of course, but it is, if you look France, you will see one of the most important countries inside territorial Europe, you will see that the move is towards extreme rights movements, nationalistic and extreme rights movements. If you take Great Britain, they have already, not clear, but decided to make a big pressure to get out of Europe. So this is really the wrong, let's say, feeling, the wrong move, but it is a move now in the most developed part of the Europe that we are helping. So, of course, increasing extreme rights movement is bad for Europeans, and it is also based a lot on migration debate. So nobody has already spoken about that, but it is very important to have in mind that the feeling against Muslim religion, the feeling against Eastern migration also, coming from, let's say, Russia, even Ukraine, it's very hard and very negative in Europe. So inside this movement, women in Europe now are very active, but very divided. And let's say, I was involved in preparing the last demonstration in Madrid. My movement, now, the French one, called La Ligue du Droit International des Femmes, we have been organizing the international support for the Spanish women fighting the regression of abortion. But in the same day, the same weekend, in Paris, you have a completely contradictory movement with a lot of women asking for stopping the law about gay marriage and all the, recognition of homosexuality. So this is fighting for family traditional rules. And this means that now you have women in both sides in Europe. And it was evident 10 or 15 years ago that on abortus, it was a freedom for women, so it was no problem. Now it is a problem, and it is not only in Spain that we have got this big facing against the freedom of women, because it will also be in Russia, it will be supported by the Orthodox Church, and it will be a huge movement growing from now till next year at the UN General Assembly. So, for me, the European women movement is really facing a big challenge to know how being for freedom of women and continuously supporting family values, but positive family value for the freedom of women. So, Sri Sri has said that leaders must have personal goals and goals for the world. When they are in harmony, it begins to be possible to solve societal challenges. But now in Europe, we don't know if some leaders will come out of the election, but so far it is not the case. And it is our problem. Environmental problems are not solved. Conflict solutions are even not searched. Women's rights, if we as Europeans want to support it in the world, means to be able to get out of a limited Europe and to go to understand that the civil war in Syria that has killed women, children, thousands of them, has been built by a sort of coalition of people who were recruiting in Europe, in Pakistan, in a lot of other countries. So this is connected world. This is what it means also. They are able to create a civil war in a country just using connection in all bad parts of this world. So, of course, you have now in Africa, they seem to discover that in the south of Libya, they have now a sort of heaven for Islamists, jihadists, completely against any rights of women. Or they will have to decide to fight. Of course, everybody knows that it has to be fight. But when and how will they decide to do it, and how to avoid that this, in the meantime, reopen elsewhere? If I may quote another country, is Egypt. I don't know if we have Egyptian women or friends with us, but you know, Qatar has published quite officially that they will now support with finance and maybe with recruiting possibility connected in the world, the Free Egyptian Army to help Muslim brothers against the actual power in Egypt, which means in some months, maybe 2-3 months, a civil war in the biggest and the most important Muslim country in the world, especially for Europe, in Mediterranean. So the danger of the connected world are, for me, at the highest level against women's rights. To be able to fight this sort of big power of extremist Muslim groups, taking power, taking arms, putting civil war in different countries, we need, as women, to be connected against them. That is the real objective that we should have now in the world. I hope the election at the European level in May will open the door for this sort of debate, which is not a debate of everybody is friends to everybody. No, if we want to fight for women's rights, we are not friends of everybody, and I do hope that all of you that are here will concentrate their forces to fight in the right direction for the freedom of women. Thank you.